My plan was to help her get to accomplish the 7 summits, and I was going to take them one at a time, at the same time accomplishing my goal, which was to get over 20,000 feet. So we did that like in the second mountain, I think, you know. Yeah, so then it was like, okay, I'll do one at a time. I'll see after each one of these. And now we're at the 7th one, so. Most of the 7 summits are glaciated mountains. So you're taking high altitude boots, you're taking crampons, you're taking ice axes and a variety of gloves and base layers. The hardest thing, honestly, on the list is trying to figure out how you deal with the gear. And that's still, I mean, I'm getting ready to do Everest, I'm still trying to figure it out. What is right for me? The actual list in your pack isn't very much at all. Denali, for example, we were on Denali for 20 days. We had 1 pair of pants. I think I took 3 pairs of underwear and 3 pairs of socks. And then you have your cold weather gear and stuff. Geneva is the planner, and she does all the kind of the coordinating of the trips. But in all seriousness, on Everest, this is a whole different ball game because and we thought about this and we put a lot of thought into it. And our original plan was that we were going to do Everest separately because she's the CEO of my company and I'm the CEO of the president. We didn't want both executives to be on the mountain and potentially at risk at the same time. So we considered, her doing it one year and me doing it another year. And the other, probably more important factor is that neither of us wanted to watch each of us die on the mountain if we had to leave each other in the death zone. So there's one of the things you have to accept on this particular mountain is that there's a real risk that you're gonna have to leave somebody there, and to have to leave somebody that you love and care about is it's probably going to be the hardest thing that anybody's ever had to make a decision to do. Once we get there, then we'll start hiking on the 1st of April, I think, around there. And then it takes about 9 to 10 days to get to base camp. It's like 50 miles to base camp. And once you get to base camp, 3 to 4 days of kind of getting organized there. And then we'll start the rotations. And on Everest, the way our guide company does it is you do 3 rotations. So you do the first rotation, you go through the ice falls and you get up to Camp 1. You may go to Camp 2 and back to Camp 1. It's about 4 or 5 days. And then you come back to base camp. Then you go back up, you go up to Camp 2. You might go to Camp 3. And on the 3rd rotation, you go to high camp. And then you make a summit attempt on your 3rd rotation.
Yeah. There's the ice falls.
In the ice falls, I mean, there's ladders that do various things, right? So there's flat, just to get across the crevasse. And it could be, 10 feet, it could be 20 feet, across, and it's thousands of feet down inside. The hardest part is it's a metal ladder. You have metal crampons on your boots, and so it's like, if you've ever had metal on metal, it's like ice. It's really slick. So what you're focused on is really just putting one foot in front of the other and trying to get across. Before we even went through our first rotation, we did a halfway through the ice falls and came back. And to be honest, I really didn't know if I would make it through my first one. My mental was, I don't even know whether I want to do this, because it was already almost 3 weeks in, ready to go home already, from a sense of living that life. So, but once I got through the first ice fall, the first up to Camp 1 and back, and it started, feeling more like a climb. Everest is in the jet stream. The jet stream shifts south for about 2 weeks. So when that shift happens, you're looking for a good weather window, and that's when you make the summit attempt. And that's the game that you're going to play. So you could do all this work and all this preparation and spend all this time there and never even get a shot at summiting. And that's where people get into trouble, is that they want to make a summit attempt no matter what happens. And so that's really the challenge of the whole thing, and the danger in the whole thing is, what is your ego going to tell you to, I can do it, even though you shouldn't be doing it. Breathing was really difficult, and you're breathing really hard, like as hard as you can breathe every single breath. But probably for me, the hardest, since I have altitude issues or height issues, on the summit ridge, which is a razor ridge going to the summit, 10,000 feet down on each side, and all you have is a snowbank on your right, and you're on this little trail. So to me, there was moments on that was tough.
Right, Geneva mountain guide with alpine ascent on the summit of Everest on the 22nd of May at 7. We got here at 7:40, something like that, but it's 7:57 now.
It's not super big, it's not small, but it's not super big. And there's a little mound that you can just see everywhere. I mean, it was cold, but it was also a beautiful day. I mean, it was sunny and blue skies, so we didn't really, for summit days, this is probably one of our best. It was pretty cool. I mean, because where you're at, I mean, you can just see everywhere, Yeah, and honestly, it hasn't sunk in yet. I mean, it really, at moments, I go through moments of it, There was a moment coming down the summit, from the summit down to Camp 4, where, it was just a split second where I got overwhelmed with emotion. I almost brought tears to my eyes, and then you're back focused on what you were doing, But when you're on the summit, Geneva and I both agree that it just seemed like any other mountain, It's not until later that you think about it, that you're standing at the highest point on Earth. Accomplishing everything was an eight-year deal. The thing that I think I want everybody to know is that I don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for my upbringing in West Virginia and what I've learned, going to WVU.